Now, this guy was about to be arrested recently. Why? Because the wife went to the police and made false accusations that my husband has beaten me, come and arrest him. And then she came with the police at 2 a.m. to arrest this guy. I don't know if you are getting the story very well. And this according to the husband, that the wife went to the police station and lied that my husband is beating me. And so the police came with her to arrest the husband without even confirming that she had been beaten. The police came, then they wanted to arrest the man. And we don't even know if it's the police, because from the video, it doesn't look like it's the police, but let's assume it was the police. Bro, this is the logical sequence of events. Let me recap this story so that you can get it very well what happened. This guy is a motorbike rider. That is his job. That is where he gets his daily bread. So he had gone out to look for money. And the wife, I think the wife is a housewife because she spends most of the time in the house, and they have a 3-year-old daughter. So the wife spends time in the house with the 3-year-old daughter, and the husband goes out with a motorbike to look for money. So there is a day, not more than a week ago from the time of creating this video, the husband went out to look for money just as usual. Then he comes back at around 10. Then he goes to the house. I don't know how he noticed something strange on the wife's phone. I think it's the message or what. He felt like the messages were coming to that phone. And then he took the phone to read the message. Then he finds that the wife is flirting with other men. Then the guy verbally confronts the wife. Why are you flirting with other men, yet I'm your husband, providing for you? I go out to look for money to take care of you people, you and my daughter. But you are in the house flirting with other men. Why are you doing this? According to the husband, he did not beat her. What did the wife do? The wife sneaked out of the house at 11 a.m. and the daughter was awake. Remember, the house has now a father, a mother, and a daughter who is 3 years old, a daughter who is conscious, a daughter who can speak and she can see what is happening. So the wife gets out of the house at around 11 after this verbal confrontation, and she goes to the police station and then tells the police that my husband has beaten me and he has developed a habit of beating me. Now the police believe her, okay, and then they come with her. Was there a P3 form? We are not told whether there was a P3 form. Were there confirmations that the wife had injuries on the body? There were no confirmations, just verbal reports that my husband has beaten me. And so the police believe her. And this is what I have been telling people, that if a lady goes to the police station and reports that you have beaten her, 90 to 100% of the chances she's going to be believed. But if you as a man go to the police station and you report that my wife has beaten me, you have to show, like that guy called Dennis. He went to the police station to show that my wife has beaten me with a hammer. The guy has just multiple injuries. So the police believed him on the account of his injuries. But the wife of this guy, when he went to the police station, the police believed her because she verbally just said, my husband has beaten me, without showing any injuries. And so the police come with her and then they want to arrest the man. But they find that the guy has locked the door. So the police start knocking the door with the landlord. Now, this is where the story turns interesting. The landlord and the wife, they go for the police and they come to arrest the man because they accuse him of beating the wife. Yet the man claims he did not beat the wife. Now the good thing that this man did, and what I support, is doing a live streaming. He started live recording these people. And then he asked them, he asked even the wife through the window, have I beaten you? The wife said, yes, you have beaten me. And the live recording goes to the daughter. Now, did I beat your mother? The child says, no, you've not beaten my mom. And then he turns, have I beaten this woman in this house? Who has had her being beaten? Apparently, there's no one who had that woman being assaulted, okay? But the police insists. You know, there's a police officer who says that you are smoking. I don't want to mention that word because I don't know if YouTube can censor it. There's a word. He said that you are abusing drugs. And then this guy says, I have never abused drugs in my life. Why are you accusing me of abusing drugs? This is the police officer accusing this man of smoking something, okay, which I don't want to mention. And he has not confirmed that this man actually does it. And the wife accuses the man of assaulting her. And the man says he did not assault her. So this man is facing two possible charges. One, abusing drugs, which he does not abuse. 2, assaulting the wife, which he did not assault according to what he has said and according to the live recording that we had. So there were violent confrontations, verbal of course, and they tried to forcefully open the door, and the live recording ended without them opening the door. Now, I took interest in this story because of the video I created recently of a man in the United States. The wife had reported him to the police that we don't know actually what the wife reported, and the guy was arrested, put in jail, divorce happened, and right now the man is suffering. Then I narrated there that if a woman does something to herself, even if she cuts herself, and then goes to the police station, and then reports you, the husband, in the US you can go to jail. US don't joke. US is not like Kenya, my friend. The police left that man because they had nothing on him. But if it was in the US, police officers would have broken that door and they would have arrested that man and taken him to jail. You see how the system works? The system works to favor women almost all the time. And this is what I have been saying here every time to all men who are listening to me, especially young men who are in love. You know, women are in business. We men are in love. You go to love a lady, you know, you want to love a lady, she's beautiful, you want to stay with her. And we are the people who come up with these statements that I want to stay with you for the rest of my life, I love you so much. But for her, her mind is not like that. Her mind is thinking, how can I benefit from this man? As a man, you are not thinking of how you can benefit from her. Her mind is thinking, how can I benefit from this man? If I can benefit from him by making false accusations against him, then I'm okay. I can make false accusation against him. If parting ways can make me benefit, then it's okay. If parting ways can hurt him so that I can benefit, then it's okay. Now I ask a question. How does a woman get out of the house at 11 a.m. without neighbors, and then she walks with the landlord to the police station? 2 of them. My wife, like now I'm imagining, my wife gets out of the house with the landlord to go to the police station at 11 a.m. Then they spend there 3. My wife is with another man at night for 3 hours because they have gone to the police station. Huh? My own wife gets out of the house at 11 a.m. alone and leaves me in the house with our daughter. Now I am with my daughter, and then she takes a male landlord, male, at 11. Then they go out for 3 hours. They are in the police station. Then they come back with other men, uniformed police officers. They want to arrest me. My brother, marriages out there are facing a lot of problems. Marriages are going through a lot of problems out there. And I made recommendations recently that this guy has to divorce. This guy has to divorce. Now you see why we recommend divorce. We don't recommend divorce because we want people just to part ways in a very casual manner, just as a hobby, just to feel good. We are not recommending people to part ways just for the sake of it. No, this is a mature case of divorce. Why? Because there is no trust. And you know, once trust is broken, it is very hard to repair it. For example, on the side of the husband, he has proved that the wife can get out at 11 a.m. with another man and then go for 3 hours with that man. And then the wife can come with other men who can harm him. Now he has proved that my wife can do this. He has proof. Now trust is broken. Now on the side of the man, he has found several texts in the phone of the wife flirting with other men. Now the trust that he had in his wife is broken. It is no longer there. So the husband does not trust the wife. The wife does not trust the husband. Now this relationship, it has a very weak foundation. This marriage has a weak foundation, even though there is a daughter. And this is why I usually pity people when I tell them to divorce, because I have been there myself. There are children involved. There was an innocent daughter who is there. She is being asked, did I assault your mother? The child says no. And the child seems like she loves daddy, and she's even calling the mother through the window. The child was calling the mom, mom. Now mom is with the police. They have come to hurt your father, and you are here with your father. Now you love dad, you love mom, but mom and dad have a weak foundation in this marriage. Now what should happen? Divorce has to happen, and co-parenting has to start, which is one of the most challenging things to happen. Marriages out there are really suffering. And these are just some of the few examples that I'm giving. And when we talk about marriage suffering, you hear some people say that only a few marriages are suffering. A lot of marriages are thriving. A lot of marriages are thriving. Do you know what a lot of marriages go through out there? People whose marriages are thriving also experience problems. The only thing they do is that they sit down and they decide, we both want this marriage. And so they sit down to address their conflicts. Conflicts in marriage are constant. You cannot say that there are two people who stay without conflicts, okay? The problem arises when one party starts feeling like he or she is more in that marriage than the other party. For example, this man is looking for money to feed the wife. He is looking for money to take the daughter to school, or maybe, 3 years, maybe she's in playgroup, or maybe, I don't know where she is, okay? So the man is struggling to feed the family. Now he comes home, the wife feels like the man is not enough. Now they disagree. Instead of the wife sitting down to address her issues with the husband, because the husband even said that he was willing to sit down with the wife to talk about the issue, but the wife feels like, let me go to the police and bring other men to oppress my husband. You see, that is according to the husband, what we saw in the video being recorded. Now, when the wife feels like she's too big, this guy should kindly release her to go. And I have always said on this channel, always release your spouse in a peaceful manner. Let them go. Do not beat them. Do not harm them. Do not even insult them or try to call them malaya or anything. Just let her go in peace, and you find your own way in peace. Because this kind of marriage cannot work. I have seen it. If it continues to work, the person who is going to suffer is the child. Because tell me why in this kind of marriage, the wife intends to harm or oppress the man. And the man always wants to find the truth about the wife now, who is evidently she's cheating, because the wife, the phone already has messages to show that she's flirting with other men. Now the wife is now cornered. She feels like she has been found, and so she's always panicking. She's in the panic mode. Now the child is being raised by a father who is suspicious and the wife who is in panic mode. Now, can this child really stay in a very healthy environment? No. The child cannot stay in a healthy environment. The only way this child can stay in a very healthy environment is staying with mommy aside and staying with daddy aside. If these people stay together, and this is what I said, one of them is going to go to the grave. I'm telling you, we are losing one of them. Because both parties have shown that now and especially the wife has shown that she can get other men to do something to her husband. She has shown it. The wife has shown that she can do something. And at 2 a.m., bro, you can imagine, at 2 a.m. at night, you are asleep, or you are with your daughter, wondering where mom went. And mom comes back at 2 with other men. With other men. You know, I've been thinking about that issue, and then I asked myself, what criteria will I use to select a wife for myself? Because, let me tell you, bro, even if the wife is humble, even if the wife submits to me, even if the wife is hardworking, even if the wife is entrepreneurial, you know, I like entrepreneurs because I don't like jobs. Even if the wife does that, even if the wife has all the qualities that I want, but she can get out of the house at 11 a.m., go out and spend out there 3 hours at night, then come with other men that they want to arrest me because I engaged with my wife in a verbal confrontation. Do you think I can stay with that kind of woman? I will end that marriage immediately, bro. I can't negotiate. There are things you cannot negotiate. Like just in my marriage, I reached a point and then I said, this one, we cannot negotiate about it. This one, just let it go. Let it go. And it ended there, and I cannot reverse the gear. If my wife can go out at night and come with other men, it ends there. So what criteria will I really use? We are really going through a lot trying to address these marriage issues. You can see the cases I've looked at recently. The case of Dr. Mutiso, for example. You see, death has occurred because of marriage confrontations. You saw the case I addressed recently, the case of Dennis. death has occurred because of just violent confrontations in marriage. You saw the case of this pilot who was already in problems with his wife. Right now they are in court. You can see they are losing property and the man is already devastated because of marriage. Now you can see this case. Now people will say that I'm selecting a few cases. It's not a few cases. A lot of marriages are going through a lot of issues. And if I have to come here with the people I know and exactly state what they are going through in marriages, it's a lot. It's a lot. This marriage issue and this marriage thing, I think we should reach the post-marriage era. Because a lot of women, as we can see, they are not of the idea of marriage. A lot of women are now saying that marriage is not necessary. We can see women are saying that. Of course, we don't believe it because they are the ones who are benefiting a lot in marriage. When it ends, they get more property, and when they are there, the man spends more. Ladies are not of the idea of marriage, and men also are finding it difficult to sustain marriages. So what should we do? Then we should just agree that we have come to a post-marriage era. Of course, I know this is going to go against my religious doctrines. There are some people who usually tell me that, Gidi, marriage was meant for people who worship God. Marriage is meant for people who are in prayers. There are people who tell me that marriage is meant for people who worship. There are people who make it look like if you are married, you are in good books with God and Jesus Christ. And if you are not married, you are not in good books with the Word of God. And I even tell them, even people who wrote those books that you are reading, some of them were not even married. People like Paul. Paul was not married. And there are several people in the Bible who are not even married. And they are men of God in the Bible who God told, go and marry a prostitute. People like Hosea, I think, is it Hosea? He was told, just go and get a prostitute and marry. So marriage is not the way we are trying to paint it, that you two people have to come together, you have to avoid sleeping around, you have to sit. When I look at the Bible that you are using, it's not saying that. The Bible says that some men of God had 2 wives, 3 wives. Men who God trusted had engaged in multiple sexual, men who God entrusted with writing, spreading the gospel. Some of them were not married. Some of them had very problematic marriages. And then you come here to tell me that God blesses a marriage if you only believe in him, and God chooses people who are in marriage. Come on, bro. We read this Bible. Don't get me started on that. I can give you examples, multiple, to show that people who God chose had very problematic marriages, and some of them did not even have wives. So we should just agree that we have come to a post-marriage era, and this thing is not working for the better of us. So let me not make this video long. Let me end it here. I'm going for the camp meeting, and we shall meet again in another video.